stop what you are doing right now. Before you eat your next meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything, I need you to hear this first. Most people walk into a meal completely unprepared, and every single time they do, their blood sugar does something that, over months and years, quietly damages nerves, kidneys, and blood vessels. Not dramatically, not painfully, just slowly, like a leak behind a wall you cannot see, until the damage is already done. Your body has been whispering this to you for a long time. Today I am going to show you how to finally listen. Because there is one thing you can do before every meal, using nothing but plain water, that changes everything. His name was Gerald. He was 67, a retired electrician from Ohio, and he came in for what he thought was a routine checkup in the fall. Gerald felt fine. He was walking every day, watching his portions, doing everything right. But when I looked at his fasting glucose over 3 years, I saw a pattern, slow, quiet, creeping upward. I added a single extra test to his labs that morning. His post-meal glucose spikes, the kind that happened 2 hours after eating, were dangerously high, numbers that had been silently wearing down his kidneys for years. Gerald had no idea. I am Dr. Mark. I am an internal medicine physician, and I have spent the last 22 years working with adults over 50 managing metabolic health, watching what happens when blood sugar patterns get missed for too long, and what changes when patients finally catch them early enough to act. Here is the truth that almost nobody outside of medicine ever explains to you. High blood sugar is not really a sugar problem. It is a timing problem. Your body is perfectly capable of handling glucose. It has been doing it since the day you were born. What breaks down as we age is the speed of that response. The pancreas hesitates. Insulin arrives late. And in that gap, that 30 to 90-minute window after a meal, glucose floods the bloodstream and damages everything it touches. That window is where the real danger lives. And that window is exactly where a single glass of water, timed correctly, can make a measurable difference. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 specific things you need to know about water timing, glucose, and what your body is doing before, during, and after every meal, including the exact moments that matter most. Tip number 4 is the one almost nobody connects to blood sugar. Most people think it is about thirst. It is not. And tip number 7 is the simplest thing in this entire video. Something you have probably done accidentally your whole life without knowing it was protecting you. Let us begin. Tip number 1, drink 16 ounces of water 20-30 minutes before you eat. Not with your meal, not after. Almost everyone has heard drink more water. Most people reach for a glass at the table right as the food arrives, or they sip throughout the meal. That feels healthy, and in some ways it is, but it is not the same thing. Here's what is different. When you drink water 20 to 30 minutes before a meal, you are doing something structural. You are preparing the digestive system, pre-filling the stomach slightly, and this is the part most people never hear. You are slowing down how quickly glucose enters the bloodstream once food arrives. Think of your digestive tract like a highway on-ramp. When it is dry and empty, food rushes in at full speed. When there is already fluid present, the process slows. Glucose enters more gradually. Your pancreas has time to respond. Insulin arrives before the flood, not after it. According to a study published in the journal Diabetes Care, pre-meal water consumption was associated with meaningfully lower 2-hour postprandial glucose levels in adults with insulin resistance. That is, your after-meal blood sugar, the number that does the most damage over time. Tonight, before dinner, set a glass of water on your counter the moment you start cooking. Drink it before you sit down, not with the meal, before. Tip number 2, the temperature of that water actually matters. Most people never think about this. Water is water, right? Cold, room temperature, warm, it all goes to the same place. That is true. but the speed at which it moves through your stomach is not the same. Cold water moves through the stomach faster. Room temperature and warm water stay in the stomach slightly longer, which means it does more work slowing down gastric emptying, the rate at which food leaves your stomach and enters the small intestine, where glucose absorption begins. Think of it like a dam on a river. Warm water in the stomach acts like a partial dam before mealtime. It slows the downstream rush. Cold water passes through too quickly to do that job. This does not mean you need hot water. Room temperature or lightly warm water, the kind you might make with just a splash of hot from the tap, is enough to make a difference. A review in the European Journal of Nutrition found that gastric emptying rate is one of the strongest predictors of post-meal glucose peaks in older adults. Starting tonight, fill your pre-meal glass from the tap and let it sit for 5 minutes. Room temperature. That is all it takes. Tip number 3. Dehydration raises your blood sugar directly, even mild dehydration. This one surprises almost every patient I tell it to. You do not have to be thirsty. You do not have to be dizzy or dry-mouthed. Even mild, everyday dehydration, the kind most adults over 60 are walking around with right now, directly raises blood glucose levels. Here's the mechanism. When your blood volume drops even slightly due to low fluid intake, your kidneys release a hormone called vasopressin. Vasopressin signals the liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream. You did not eat anything. Your glucose still went up. That is not a theory. That is basic physiology. Think of your bloodstream like a glass of lemonade. If the lemonade stays the same, but you pour some water out, it gets more concentrated, more sugary tasting, even though the sugar did not change. That is what happens to your blood when you are mildly dehydrated. The glucose concentration rises without you eating a single thing. The CDC reports that up to 40% of older adults are chronically underhydrated, not dangerously, just quietly, consistently low. And for every person with borderline blood sugar numbers, that background dehydration may be pushing them further into the danger zone every single day. Every morning, before you eat breakfast, drink 1 full glass of water. Before coffee, before anything. It takes 30 seconds and it resets your overnight dehydration before the day begins. Tip number 4. Carbonated water does not work the same way. This is the tip most people never connect to blood sugar, and it is the one I see cause the most quiet confusion in my patients who are trying to do everything right. Sparkling water, club soda, flavored sparkling beverages, they feel like water. They count toward hydration in many ways. But when it comes to the pre-meal glucose flattening benefit, carbonated water does not perform the same as still water. Here's why. Carbonation accelerates gastric emptying. The gas in sparkling water actually moves fluid through the stomach faster, which is the opposite of what you want before a meal. Instead of acting like a slow dam, it acts like a trap door, opening up the digestive pathway faster, not slower. Food and glucose enter the bloodstream at higher speed. Think of it like choosing between a garden hose and a pressure washer to water a potted plant. The hose delivers gently. The pressure washer delivers fast and everything spills over. You want the hose. A 2021 study in the journal Nutrients found that substituting still water for carbonated beverages before meals resulted in measurably lower glucose responses in adults with prediabetes. Still water, plain and simple. If you love sparkling water, enjoy it with your meal or after. But for your 20 to 30 minute pre-meal window, choose still. Before I keep going, I want to ask you something directly. Have you noticed that your blood sugar numbers are higher in the morning, or that they seem to spike after certain meals and you are not sure why? If that sounds like you, type the word yes in the comments right now. Just the word yes. I read these comments and it helps me know what to cover next. And if this video is giving you information your doctor has not had time to explain, please hit the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people over 60 who need to hear it. All right, let us keep going. Tip number 5. Eating too fast cancels out the water benefit. You drank your water, you waited 20 minutes, and then you ate your meal in 8 minutes flat. The water benefit gets significantly reduced when eating speed is high. Here's the connection most people miss. The pre-meal water works partly by triggering stretch receptors in the stomach wall, receptors that signal the brain to slow the digestive process and give the pancreas time to prepare. But when you eat too fast, you override those signals. Food piles in before the brain has finished processing. Glucose hits before insulin has a chance to respond. Think of it like loading a freight elevator. The water prepared the elevator, opened the doors, got the machinery ready. But if you pile in 3 times the cargo at triple the speed, it breaks down anyway. The American Diabetes Association recommends aiming for at least 20 minutes per meal, enough time for your satiety hormones and insulin response to align. Starting today, put your fork down between bites. Every bite. It sounds small. It is not. Tip number 6. Adding a pinch of salt or a squeeze of lemon to your water improves absorption before meals. Your body does not absorb plain water at the same rate it absorbs water with electrolytes. This is not a sports drink conversation. This is about basic cellular uptake. When water contains even trace minerals, a tiny pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon, it moves into your cells more efficiently and stays in your bloodstream longer, which means it does more work moderating glucose before your meal arrives. Think of it like watering dry, hard soil versus soft prep soil. Plain water on dry soil runs off. Water on prep soil soaks in. Your cells absorb mineral-enhanced water the same way. A study in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that electrolyte-containing fluids significantly improve cellular hydration at the tissue level compared to plain water alone, even in small, non-athletic doses. You do not need anything fancy. A pinch of sea salt, less than you would taste, or half a lemon squeezed into your pre-meal glass. That is it. Tonight, try it before dinner. Tip number 7. The last sip before you sit down is the most important. This is the simplest thing in the video, and I have saved it for last because I want you to remember it above everything else. Most people who start a pre-meal water routine drink their water and then wait. They sit on the couch, they scroll, and by the time they sit down to eat, 35 or 40 minutes have passed. The stomach has already emptied most of what they drank. The goal is not just to drink water before meals. The goal is to have water present in your stomach when the first bite of food arrives. Think of it like preheating an oven before baking. You preheat, then you put the food in immediately. You do not preheat, go run errands, and come back. The preparation has to connect directly to the action. So here's what I want you to do. Drink your full glass 20 to 30 minutes before the meal. But then, right before you sit down, right before the first bite, take 2 or 3 final slow sips. Just a few ounces, enough to refresh the fluid presence in your stomach as the food arrives. According to research published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care, the most significant reduction in post-meal glucose spikes occurred when fluid was present in the stomach at the moment of first glucose exposure, not 40 minutes prior. Every night before bed, moisturize your feet. Every night before bed. And every meal, those last few sips before you sit down. Every meal. Here are all 7 things your body needs you to know. Drink 16 ounces of still water 20 to 30 minutes before every meal. Use room temperature water, not cold. Stay consistently hydrated throughout the day to prevent vasopressin from raising your baseline glucose. Skip the sparkling water before meals, save it for after. Eat slowly, at least 20 minutes per meal, so the water can do its job. Add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to improve cellular absorption. And take those last few sips right before you sit down. Each one of these is your body's early warning system, and your body's built-in defense if you give it what it needs. Tonight, after you finish this video, Go to your kitchen and put a glass on the counter next to where you cook. That glass is your reminder. Fill it before you start cooking dinner. Add a small squeeze of lemon or a pinch of salt if you have it. Let it sit at room temperature. Drink it when the food is almost ready. Then take 3 slow sips right before you sit down. Do that every meal for 1 week. If you have been told your blood sugar is borderline, or if you have noticed your fasting glucose creeping up on recent labs, call your doctor this week and ask for a 2-hour postprandial glucose test. It costs about $30 to $50 and is covered by Medicare for most of you. It measures your blood sugar 2 hours after eating, the number that Gerald's test revealed, the number that most routine checkups miss. You have worked too hard for the life you have. The mornings, the grandchildren, the freedom to do what you want when you want it. Do not let a manageable condition like blood sugar dysregulation take any of it from you, just because nobody took 15 minutes to explain what was actually happening and what you could actually do about it. Now you know. Share this video on Facebook right now and tag one person you love who is over 50. Not because I'm asking you to, but because this might be the thing that catches something early for someone you care about. That is what sharing is for. And if you want more of this, the kind of honest, plain language health information I share with my own patients, subscribe to this channel and bring someone you love along. I am here every week with the things that matter most. Everything I have shared in this video is general health education based on published medical research and clinical experience. It is not a substitute for personal medical advice from your own physician. Every person's situation, health history, and medications are different, and you should always speak with your own doctor before making any changes to your health routine. I am Dr. Mark. Drink your water, take those last few sips, and I will see you in the next video.